Are you one of those people who's thinking ahead to planning Hanukkah and just want to plan it like you did pre-COVID? Tired of spending so much time thinking about logistics, hybrid or on Zoom or in person, and now that things are opening up, you're just thinking, to heck with it, let's just go big this year. I'm Dasee Berkowitz, and I'm the author of this book, Becoming a Soulful Parent, A Path to the Wisdom Within. And if we went back to how things were pre-COVID, we would be missing out on something really big. How we've been transformed by the experiences we've all already had. We've leaned into the discomfort that uncertainty is just a part of life, and we've learned that we can be a lot more flexible than we thought we could, and we can change our plans on a dime if need be. And each of us has also learned how to stretch and strengthen critical spiritual muscles like empathy and listening and even humility. Alan Marinis, a great Musar teacher, says this about humility: no more than my space, no less than my place. Too little humility or taking up too much space leads to arrogance and conceit. We conquered COVID, or let's plan Hanukkah just like our neighbors are planning Christmas. Too much humility leads to a sense of worthlessness and smallness. We say to ourselves, I've just been taken over by this pandemic. I have no energy left to celebrate anything. Why even bother celebrating Hanukkah at all this year? Maybe we can be a part of the holiday season and just, the general holiday cheer. No more than my space, no less than my place. So if you find that you usually don't take up enough space, ask yourself, do you state your needs clearly enough when you're planning a gathering beyond your immediate family? Or do you feel like you get overtaken by other people's needs? Do you first think about what's right for your family before thinking about what everyone else is doing? And if you think that you take up too much space, consider, do you listen to what those you love are telling you about what they need and want? Or if your plans don't turn out exactly as you want them to, are you able to see yourself as a part of a larger picture and family and system, and that maybe what happens was just as it was meant to be? So when we cultivate our humility, we recognize that we're important and we're a leader in our family, and we also can leave space for others without feeling threatened. We're not all there is, and we are a part of a greater whole. And there's something particularly inviting about practicing humility around the holidays this year, because it's also the year of Shemitah. So Shemitah literally means release in Hebrew, and it's inspired by the biblical commandment that released farmers from working the land and leaving it fallow once every 7 years. When we enter into a Shemitah mindset this year, it holds the promise of releasing us from the grip of how we plan and even what we buy for Hanukkah. Maybe this year is a one to focus less on stuff and more on experiences, or less on what we want the holiday to look like and more about how we want it to feel during the holiday. Walking more humbly through our lives, especially this Shemitah year, holds a promise of enhancing also our well-being. We'll be less anxious because we won't feel like we need to achieve or do everything to have the best Hanukkah ever. And it'll heighten our appreciation for everything we already have. So the fuel that keeps the engine of humility running is gratitude. In my family, there's an exercise that I do every now and again, and it's like a rapid fire gratitude circle. When there's a bit of extra time before heading out to school in the morning or around the Shabbat table on Friday nights, I ask my kids to share 5 things they're grateful for, and I always start to set the tone. We go on a warm bed, shoes, breakfast, friends, and so the circle goes. So as you get closer to planning Hanukkah, ask some other questions to your kids, your partners, or yourself. So some of the language I'll be using is inspired by Shemitah and the agricultural cycle. What do I want to grow between us during the holidays? And what is one activity we can do together to cultivate that growth? What's a new experience that I want to have that will seed new memories for our family in the future? So take your rightful amount of space and keep a list of these ideas, and have these be the ones that guide you as you make your Hanukkah plans this year.